When did the school plug realize that he was finally cooked? You set me up! Blake screamed as cops popped out of the bushes like whack-a-moles. I watched him get tackled in the gas station parking lot by the dumpster with the delightful sound of an officer telling him that he was under arrest. The only thing that would have made it better was if he had been tased on top of it. You think I'm not seeing your SS at school tomorrow? Just wait. Little did Blake know, he'd be seeing me sooner than that. And then he'd finally learn that he should have never messed with my sister. My sister Sammy and I are barely 10 months apart, so I always felt responsible for protecting her as her older brother. That's why I was already on edge when we moved and had to go to a new school. You see, Sammy was a social butterfly and made friends quickly, but it was always with the wrong crowd because she wasn't too bright. I knew I was right when I saw her standing close to Blake, the school plug. I had been here for 3 hours and already knew that, but somehow she didn't care. He always slipped in the bathroom while multiple people waited outside, leaving only a second later, and the student waiting outside would then rush in. The teachers either didn't notice or care, but what I did care about was how close he was getting to Sammy. At first, he was just carrying her books. Then he started walking with his arm around her shoulders. His big mistake was when Sammy showed me the present he had given her during lunch when we got home. I looked down at the little bag in her palm with the candy-like pills inside. He told me they're not as bad as people think, Sammy said when she saw my face. He's really sweet. He said he would take me to an after party after the homecoming dance. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. I convinced Sammy to fake being sick and stay home the next day. I then took the baggie from her and made a few calls with a plan in mind. I waltzed up to Blake the next morning with a fake smile. Hey, you're Blake, right? Who's asking? I'm Sammy's brother. She asked me to talk to you. Blake's suspicious look faded. Hey, nice to meet you, man. Where is she, by the way? At home. She told me you gave her something that she took last night. Dude. Blake quickly glanced around after interrupting me. Not so loud, got it? I put up my hands and shrugged my shoulders. My bad. She just wanted to know if she could get some more. I could meet you tonight at the gas station down the road. Why there? I picked up a part-time job. I gotta be there anyway. Blake bought the lie and nodded. I don't usually work outside, but let her know I'll make an exception for her, so long as she does me a favor later. It took every bone in my body not to sucker punch him when he winked, but the cringe was a necessary evil. You see, Blake's dad happened to be an important politician. I had learned from some digging that other students had tried to hand over Blake's secret candy to the police, but Blake would simply deny dealing, and then the family lawyer would get him out of trouble. The only way Blake was going to get punished for dealing was if he was directly seen doing so by a police officer. When Blake arrived, we walked over to the dumpster where the only security camera couldn't see us. I grinned from ear to ear. You got the stuff? Only one bag. Can't have my girl hooked too much. I grit my teeth, but managed to smile anyway. Don't tell me you actually keep it all in the school bathroom? Blake looks at me surprised and laughs. Clever dude. If this part-time doesn't work out, I'll hire you. But no, I have Tony hold on to it for me. Better him than me if our operation is ever found out. I turned to the bushes. Right, I think we got what we needed. I was practically shaking with excitement in the questioning room, and when they brought Blake in, the look on his face was priceless. He saw me sitting next to my father, the town's new detective who had just moved in to help stop the growing drug problem, and an old TV sitting on a small table behind us. Blake immediately started babbling about how we had nothing concrete, and how his lawyer would be there any minute and make us sorry. My father looked at me and nodded. I then lifted my shirt and carefully pulled out the hidden camera disguised as a button and connected it from my phone to the TV. Then, my father and I sat back as we watched Blake's smug face turn white as he watched himself confess to everything both at school and the gas station.